Your life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Every second you hesitate, every moment you delay is a moment lost, a chance that will never come back. Success doesn't arrive for the ones who wait for perfect conditions, who hope motivation will magically appear, or who expect someone else to push them forward. The only way forward is to rise, to move, and to force yourself into action even when every part of you wants to stay comfortable. You have to look at yourself honestly and admit that nothing will change unless you do. Your dreams, your goals, your potential, they all demand movement. Sitting, thinking, planning endlessly without taking action is the surest way to let life slip through your fingers. Fear, doubt, hesitation, these are the walls you face. And the only way to break through is by moving your feet, raising your hand, taking the first step, and then the next. The people who achieve greatness don't wait for motivation, energy, or permission. They act. They push forward when it's hard. They rise when they've fallen. They force themselves to take action even when they don't feel ready. You have that power too. You can decide today that waiting ends now. You can decide today that excuses will no longer control your life. You can decide today that your action will write the story you deserve. This moment right now is yours. Everything you want, success, growth, freedom, purpose, begins with what you do next. Force yourself to take action, push through the resistance, move when it's uncomfortable, step into the life you've been dreaming of because no one else will do it for you. Part 1. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. It will never come. Most people spend their lives waiting. They wait for the right time to begin. They wait until they feel ready. They wait until the fear goes away, until the stars align, until the world gives them a sign. But the truth is, that perfect moment they're waiting for will never come. There will always be something missing, something uncertain, something not quite right. And if you keep waiting for things to be perfect, you'll keep waiting forever. Action is never born out of comfort or clarity. It's born out of a decision. A decision that says, I'm going to do this now, even if I don't have it all figured out. You see, the ones who succeed aren't the ones who had everything ready before they started. They're the ones who started while things were messy, confusing, and uncertain. They took the first step when fear was loud and confidence was quiet. And over time, their courage built their clarity. Waiting for perfection is just another form of fear. It's fear wearing the mask of patience. It convinces you that it's wise to wait, that more thinking or more planning will make things easier later. But deep down, you know what it really is. It's hesitation disguised as preparation. It's your comfort zone trying to keep you trapped, whispering that now isn't the right time. But here's the truth. There is no right time. There's only now. This moment, right now, is the only time that exists. Every dream, every goal, every success story started in a moment just like this, imperfect, uncertain, but real. If you wait until everything makes sense, you'll miss your chance. Life doesn't pause for you to get ready. It keeps moving, with or without your participation. The people who get ahead are not necessarily smarter or luckier. They're simply those who refuse to wait. They started when it was uncomfortable, when they didn't know what would happen next, and when the risk of failure was high. But they acted anyway. The most powerful decisions in life are rarely made in ideal conditions. Think about it. No one ever feels completely ready to start a business, to move to a new city, to change careers, or to chase a dream. Readiness comes after you act, not before. The confidence you're waiting for will only appear after you take that first uncomfortable step. Every time you act despite fear, you teach your mind that you are capable. Every time you move forward without all the answers, you build strength. The path reveals itself as you walk it, not before. So stop telling yourself you need more time. Stop saying someday as if it's a date on the calendar. The truth is, someday is just another way of saying never. If something matters to you, start now with what you have, where you are. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to begin. That first small action creates momentum. And once momentum starts, it becomes your greatest ally. The longer you sit and think, the heavier the weight of inaction becomes. But the moment you act, even in a small way, that weight begins to lift. You start to feel alive again, focused again, driven again. Every dream has an expiration date if you keep waiting to start. Opportunities don't wait around forever. The window closes while you're second-guessing yourself. And the saddest thing is, most people don't fail because they tried and lost. They fail because they never tried at all. They talk themselves out of action before they ever take the first step. They convince themselves they're being smart, cautious, or practical. But what they're really doing is wasting their potential, hiding behind excuses, and protecting their comfort zone. If you want your life to change, you have to stop waiting for the perfect circumstances. You have to move even when you're unsure. Every great thing you admire started with someone taking an imperfect first step. The people who build extraordinary lives aren't fearless. They just act despite the fear. They understand that motion creates clarity, not the other way around. When you act, even if the result isn't perfect, you learn something. You get feedback. You adjust. You grow. And before long, what once felt impossible starts to feel natural. Action transforms everything. It turns ideas into results, dreams into progress, and fear into strength. The more you do, the more you learn. The more you learn, the more capable you become. But none of that happens while you're sitting still. You can't think your way to success. You have to move your way there. Thinking too long kills action. Planning too long kills momentum. And hesitation kills dreams. The only cure for overthinking is movement. The only cure for fear is doing the thing you're afraid of. It's easy to say you'll start tomorrow. Now, it's easy to convince yourself that once you feel more confident, or once things slow down, you'll begin. But life doesn't reward intentions, it rewards execution. You can talk about your goals for years and have nothing to show for it, or you can take a single step today and start building momentum. That small step might not look like much at first, but it's the one that separates dreamers from doers. The person who moves, even imperfectly, will always outgrow to the one who waits for perfection. The real difference between people who live their dreams and those who only talk about them is not talent, it's action. The doers make decisions faster. They don't wait for the fear to disappear. They just act while it's still there. They understand that waiting is just another form of surrender. And they refuse to surrender their potential to hesitation. The people who win in life are the ones who show up when it's uncomfortable, who start before they're ready, and who trust that their future will reward their courage today. So if there's something you've been putting off, something you know you need to do, this is your reminder. Don't wait another day. Start, move. Take that first step, even if it's small. You will never feel completely ready, but you are capable right now. Every great life begins when someone finally decides that waiting is no longer an option. Take control of your story, not by thinking about it, but by acting on it. Because once you stop waiting for the perfect moment, you'll realize you had the power to begin all along. Part 2, train your mind to act even when you don't feel ready. Most people believe they need to feel ready before they act. They think they must have the motivation, the energy, or the confidence first. But if you wait until you feel ready, you might wait your whole life. The truth is, action doesn't come after motivation. Motivation comes after action. You train your mind to move even when you don't feel like it. You teach yourself that emotions don't control you, discipline does. The moment you begin to act without waiting for the perfect feeling, everything in your life begins to change. It's easy to act when you feel inspired, when the mood is right, when the environment supports you. But that's not real discipline. Real discipline is moving forward when your mind screams to stop. It's doing what's right even when your body is tired and your heart doesn't want to. You become powerful the moment you stop negotiating with your emotions and start taking command over them. Because when you train your mind to act regardless of mood, you become unstoppable. You stop living like a slave to your feelings and start living as the master of your life. Every person who's ever achieved something great had days when they didn't feel ready. They had mornings when they didn't want to show up, when the pressure felt heavy, and when the doubts were loud, but they acted anyway. That's how confidence is built, not by waiting to feel good, but by proving to yourself that you can act even when you don't. Every time you follow through, despite fear or laziness, you earn trust in yourself. That self-trust is priceless. It becomes the foundation of every future success you create. The mind will always find reasons to delay. It'll tell you that you need more time, that you're not skilled enough, that conditions aren't right. It will use fear as logic and hesitation as safety. But none of those excuses are real. They're stories your brain creates to protect you from discomfort. You can't wait for fear to disappear because it never will. The only way to weaken fear is to face it. The only way to build readiness is to act before you have it. Action creates readiness. Hesitation destroys it. When you decide to move forward despite fear, something powerful happens. You begin to shift your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who hesitates and start seeing yourself as someone who acts. The first time you take that bold step, your mind resists. The second time, it still resists, but a little less. The third time, it becomes easier. By the 10th time, action becomes who you are. The resistance never fully disappears, but you learn to act in spite of it. You become stronger than your excuses, faster than your fears, and more committed than your comfort zone. Think of how many dreams die because someone said, "I'll do it when I feel ready." They spend years waiting for confidence to arrive, never realizing confidence comes from movement. Every time you delay, you reinforce doubt. Every time you act, you weaken it. You don't become confident before you start. You become confident because you start. You don't wait to feel brave, you act first, and bravery follows. The people who win in life aren't those who feel ready all the time. They're the ones who have trained themselves to move even when they don't. Every morning you have two choices: to act based on how you feel or to act based on what you've committed to. Most people choose feelings. That's why they start things and never finish them. But the ones who build great lives choose commitment. They do what needs to be done even when they don't feel like it. And as a result, their emotions begin to align with their actions. So, once your mind realizes you act no matter what, it begins to work with you instead of against you. The emotional resistance starts to fade because your brain understands there's no point in arguing anymore. You've made the decision to act. It doesn't matter if it's working on a business, hitting the gym, or learning a new skill. The pattern is the same. You never feel ready at first. The first few days feel heavy. The voice of resistance is strong. But once you build consistency, something clicks. The action starts to create energy. You start feeling better because you're finally doing something about your goals instead of just thinking about them. Action itself becomes the cure for doubt and hesitation. Many people believe they need motivation to act, but what they really need is momentum. Motivation is an emotion. It fades. Momentum is a habit. it builds. You create momentum by showing up, by doing the work, by refusing to give in to the voice that says, "Not today." The more you act, the easier it becomes to act again. Each step forward strengthens your mind. Each completed task builds mental armor against laziness and procrastination. The more you push through discomfort, the more natural discipline becomes. So, train your mind to act, even when it doesn't feel ready. Take the first step when your hands shake, when your heart beats fast, when everything inside you says, wait. Because that's the exact moment you need to move. Waiting will only make the fear grow stronger. Action will make it fade. The moment you stop waiting to feel ready, you take back control over your destiny. Every single time you choose action over hesitation, you remind yourself that you are stronger than your feelings. You start to live by decisions, not emotions, and that's the secret to progress, growth, and long-term success. Part 3, break big goals into small, immediate steps. Most people have goals that feel so big, they don't even know where to start. They dream about success, but when they look at the size of the dream, it feels impossible. That's why so many quit before they even begin. The truth is, you don't need to take a giant leap. You just need to take the next small step. You don't have to build your dream overnight. You have to build it piece by piece, moment by moment, day by day. The people who win in life aren't the ones who did everything at once. They're the ones who stayed consistent doing the small things that mattered most. When you break your big goals into small, immediate steps, everything becomes manageable. You remove the weight of perfection and replace it with progress. You stop thinking about what you can't do right now and focus on what you can. Maybe your dream is to start a business, but instead of trying to build an empire in a week, start by learning how to serve one customer well. If your goal is to get in shape, don't aim for the perfect body immediately. Start by showing up for a 10-minute workout. Progress doesn't require giant moves, it requires consistent ones. Too many people get stuck because they overthink. They want every detail to be perfect before they move. But perfection is just another word for procrastination. The longer you plan without acting, the more fear you build. Action kills fear, but hesitation feeds it. The only way to create clarity is through movement. You learn more by doing than by thinking about doing. Each step you take gives you new information, new confidence, and new direction. You can't plan your way to success, you have to move your way to it. It's easy to get overwhelmed when you focus on the entire journey at once. But when you break it into small, clear steps, you begin to feel control again. You can't climb a mountain by staring at the top. You climb it by taking one steady step after another. Each small action builds momentum. Each little win creates motivation to keep going. That's how big dreams become reality. Not through sudden breakthroughs, but through daily effort stacked over time. There's power in starting small. When you make progress visible and achievable, your brain starts associating action with reward. You begin to enjoy the process instead of fearing it. You stop asking how far I have to go and start saying, look how far I've come. That shift changes everything. It keeps you motivated during tough days because you see movement no matter how small. The truth is, it's not the size of your steps that matters. It's the consistency of your stride. You have to build momentum one small victory at a time. Every small task completed sends a signal to your mind that you're capable, that you're moving forward, that you're not stuck anymore. Each small action fuels your belief, and belief fuels bigger actions. You don't need to know the entire path before you begin. You just need to see the next step clearly and take it. Once you do, the next one appears. That's how progress works. It unfolds as you move. Big goals can be intimidating because they often carry uncertainty and pressure. But when you simplify them into smaller actions, you remove the fear. You stop worrying about the outcome and start building daily habits that naturally lead to it. Every day becomes a building block toward the future you want. And the best part? The more small wins you create, the more confident you become. Confidence isn't built by talking about your goals. It's built by doing something about them, even if it's small. When you focus only on the final destination, you lose sight of the present. But when you focus on today's step, you stay grounded. You begin to trust the process. You start realizing that success isn't one massive action, it's thousands of small actions done with focus and intention. Each phone call, each workout, each page you write, it all counts. Every little bit adds up. The problem is, most people underestimate the power of small progress because they expect instant results. But success doesn't come instantly, it compounds quietly. If you look at anyone who's built something great, you'll see a common pattern. They started small, they stayed patient, and they never stopped taking steps. Their early actions might have looked insignificant, but over time, those tiny efforts built momentum, and momentum turned into mastery. That's how greatness is created. Not by sudden luck or timing, but by steady, deliberate movement every single day. So, break your big goals into small, immediate steps. Focus on what you can do now, not what you can't. Take one small action that moves you forward today. Don't underestimate it. Because one small step today can create massive change tomorrow. Each time you act, you shift your direction. Each time you follow through, you strengthen your discipline. Over time, those small moves build a life of strength, progress, and purpose. That's how you turn your dreams into reality, by taking small, consistent steps that never stop moving forward. Part 4, use discipline to push through resistance. There will be days when you don't feel like doing anything. Days when you wake up tired, unmotivated, or weighed down by thoughts that whisper, "Take it easy today." Those are the moments that separate the dreamers from the doers. Because anyone can act when it's easy, but real growth happens when you move forward even when it's hard. That's where discipline steps in, the silent power that carries you through when motivation disappears. Motivation might start the journey, but discipline is what finishes it. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings come and go. Discipline, however, is a choice. A muscle that gets stronger every time you use it. You can't rely on inspiration to get things done because it doesn't show up every day. Some days, you'll feel ready to conquer the world, and other days, you'll struggle to even get started. But discipline means showing up anyway. It means doing what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. The truth is, success doesn't care about your mood. Progress doesn't wait for the perfect mindset. Growth doesn't pause just because you're tired. Discipline is the ability to do what's required even when everything in you says, "Not today." When you start pushing through resistance, you begin to realize how powerful you truly are. Every time you act despite discomfort, you prove to yourself that you're in control, not your excuses. You stop being a prisoner of your feelings and become the leader of your actions. That shift changes everything. You gain self-respect, and that respect becomes fuel. You no longer need someone to push you because you've trained yourself to move forward on command. That's what builds inner strength, doing what's right, not what's easy. There's a moment every person faces when they have to decide whether to stay comfortable or to grow. Comfort keeps you the same. Discipline transforms you. You might not see results right away, but every act of discipline plants a seed. And with enough time, those seeds turn into results you can see, touch, and feel. Discipline doesn't promise instant success, but it guarantees long-term progress. It's the quiet work behind the scenes that leads to visible victory later. When you rely on motivation, you'll act only when conditions are right. So, when you rely on discipline, you act regardless of the conditions. That's how real achievers operate. They don't wait for perfect weather to start building. They build even when it rains. They work even when they're tired. They stay focused even when distractions call their name, because they understand that the small act of showing up every day consistently will always outweigh bursts of effort followed by long breaks. Most people quit not because they lack talent, but because they lack consistency. They let emotions dictate their actions instead of values. But discipline gives you control. It helps you say no when your mind tempts you to take it easy. It helps you say yes to the work that will shape your future. Discipline becomes your anchor, the thing that keeps you steady when life feels chaotic. The stronger your discipline, the more unstoppable you become. Every time you fight resistance and still take action, you strengthen your identity. You begin to see yourself as someone who follows through. That self-image is powerful, because when you believe you're a person who gets things done, you start living like one. You stop overthinking, you stop doubting, and you stop delaying. You start doing. Discipline builds confidence in a way that no amount of talk ever could. You start to trust yourself, and when you trust yourself, you become dangerous to any obstacle in your path. There will always be moments of struggle. You'll face temptation, laziness, and distraction. But remember this, every time you choose discipline over comfort, you win a battle most people lose. You become the kind of person who can't be easily stopped. You might get tired, but you won't quit. You might fall, but you'll stand back up. Because discipline gives you the power to rise no matter how hard you fall. You don't need to feel motivated every day. You just need to stay committed. Build the habit of doing the work, even when it's uncomfortable. Over time, that habit becomes your strength. It becomes automatic. You stop waiting for the right mood. You act because that's who you are now. That's the mindset that separates the top 1% from the rest. They don't depend on how they feel. They depend on their standard. So, use discipline to push through resistance. Be the kind of person who doesn't wait for perfect timing or inspiration. Be the one who acts anyway. That's how you move forward when others stop. That's how you grow when others settle. The road to success is paved with countless small acts of discipline, not grand gestures, but simple daily actions that prove your commitment to your goals. Every time you follow through, you take another step closer to the life you want. Discipline doesn't just build success, it builds character. And that character becomes the foundation of everything great you achieve. Part 5. Reward progress to keep the momentum alive. Most people burn out not because they lack ambition, but because they forget to celebrate the small wins along the way. You see, success isn't built on one big breakthrough. It's built on hundreds of tiny victories that stack up over time. The problem is, many people keep moving so fast, chasing the next goal, that they never pause to recognize how far they've come. And when you don't acknowledge progress, your mind starts to believe that your effort doesn't matter. That's when motivation fades, and you start feeling stuck even when you're moving forward. You have to reward yourself, not just when you win big, but when you make progress. Because that's how you keep the momentum alive. When you reward progress, you train your brain to associate effort with positive emotion. You create a loop of motivation that keeps pulling you forward even when results come slowly. Every time you recognize your own effort, you remind yourself that growth is happening, that what you're doing is working. Now, rewarding yourself doesn't mean going on a vacation every time you finish a task. It can be simple. It can be as small as taking a quiet walk after a productive day, watching a movie after a week of discipline, treating yourself to a good meal after finishing a project, writing down your wins at the end of each week, no matter how small. These small moments of acknowledgement recharge your mind, and that keeps you consistent. Because here's the truth, the journey to success is long. There will be days when nothing seems to change. You'll put in the work, and the world will stay silent. That's when you have to learn to pat yourself on the back and say, I'm still going. I didn't quit, I showed up. Those words, that self-recognition, keep your spirit alive when results are not visible yet. It's easy to be motivated when you see success. But real discipline is being proud of yourself even when the results are still forming. Every time you show up, every time you keep a promise to yourself, you deserve a quiet reward. Because that moment of appreciation refuels your drive to keep going tomorrow. Success is not just about achieving big things, it's about maintaining momentum long enough to reach them. And momentum thrives when you balance effort with encouragement. So build a system of small rewards in your journey. Track your progress. Celebrate consistency, not just completion. Because the person who learns to enjoy the process will always outlast the one who only chases the outcome. Think of it like this. Every small reward is a thank you to yourself for not giving up. Every little celebration keeps your fire burning a bit longer. You can't expect your mind to keep pushing if you never let it feel appreciated. The same way a car needs fuel, your motivation needs moments of recognition. So every week, take a look at what you've done, not what's left undone. You might realize you've already grown more than you think. Reward that growth, because when you learn to enjoy progress, you'll never run out of energy to keep moving forward. Momentum isn't built by intensity alone, it's built by appreciation. The more you celebrate your progress, the more progress you'll want to make. So don't wait for the final victory to feel proud. Be proud today for every step you've taken. That's how you keep your journey alive. One reward, one moment, one quiet, I did it at a time. Part 6. Remind yourself daily why you started and what's at stake. When life gets heavy, when things stop making sense, when your motivation begins to fade, that's when you must go back to your why. Because your why is what keeps you standing when everything around you is shaking. Most people quit not because they're weak, but because they forget why they started in the first place. They lose sight of the mission. They forget the reason behind the struggle. And when you lose the reason, the road starts to feel meaningless. Every morning you have to remind yourself, why am I doing this? What's at stake if I stop now? You didn't come this far just to go back to the life that made you miserable. You didn't push through all the pain just to give up when it gets difficult. There's a version of you that you've been chasing, stronger, wiser, more disciplined, and that version of you is waiting on the other side of consistency. Reminding yourself of your why isn't just motivation, it's survival. Because when things get tough, emotion fades, but purpose endures. When you remember what's at stake, your peace, your family, your future, your dignity, quitting stops being an option. You can't stop when people depend on you. You can't stop when you know you've been blessed with more potential than you've shown. You can't stop when your future self is silently begging you to keep going. Every day you have to reconnect with your mission. Maybe it's to give your parents a better life. Maybe it's to prove to yourself that you can rebuild after failure. Maybe it's to break the cycle of regret and live with discipline instead. Whatever your reason is, hold it close. Keep it in front of you like a light that never goes out. Because there will be days when everything inside you wants to give up, and the only thing that will push you through is remembering why you started. Your why has to be louder than your excuses, louder than your doubts, louder than your comfort zone. When you start forgetting it, you'll start lowering your standards, compromising on your dreams, and making peace with mediocrity. That's why successful people remind themselves daily of what's at stake, not to create fear, but to build urgency. to remember that time is limited and every wasted day pushes the goal further away. So before you start your day, take a moment and reconnect with that vision that made you begin. Close your eyes and see the person you want to become. Feel the emotion you'll experience when you finally achieve it. Let that emotion fuel you. Let it remind you that what you're doing matters. Because when you carry your why in your heart every single day, no setback can stop you for long. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to stay connected to your purpose. The moment you forget why you started, you lose your fire. But the moment you remember it, you rise again with new strength. So ask yourself today, what's at stake if I quit? Maybe your future, maybe your family's peace, maybe your dream life. Don't let that slip away. Stay aware of what you're fighting for. Write it down, speak it aloud, keep it in front of you. Because when your reason is clear, your resolve becomes unbreakable. Remind yourself daily, I started for a reason. I'm still going for a reason, and I will finish for that same reason. It's also important to remember that action is not just about doing, it's about commitment. Each decision you make, each choice to move forward, is a vote for the life you want to live. It is a statement that you refuse to let circumstances, fear, or procrastination control your story. The small victories, the repeated efforts, and the daily commitment compound over time, creating results that feel almost impossible at first. But those results are waiting for those who refuse to wait themselves. Challenges will come and resistance will rise. There will be moments when it feels easier to quit than to continue, when the weight of doubt presses on you and when excuses whisper that it's okay to stop. But each time you push through, each time you act despite discomfort, you build a strength within yourself that cannot be taken away. You develop resilience, discipline, and clarity. You learn that you are stronger than your fears, more capable than your doubts, and more powerful than your hesitation. Your progress is your proof. Each action you take becomes evidence that you are committed to your own growth. Each time you rise, you reinforce your ability to overcome. Each step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to the life you envision. Over time, the accumulation of consistent effort will far outweigh the times you hesitated or doubted. You'll look back and realize that it was your action, your refusal to remain idle, that changed everything. Remember, no one else will do the work for you. No one else will step into your shoes, make the hard decisions, or push past the fear in your place. You are the architect of your life, and the tools you need are already in your hands. Every morning is a new opportunity to act, to move forward, and to take one more step toward the person you want to become. Waiting accomplishes nothing. Hesitation accomplishes nothing. Only action moves you forward. Force yourself to take action. Keep moving even when it's uncomfortable. Keep going even when it's hard. Keep pushing even when motivated. Your future depends on what you do now, and your destiny is shaped by every choice you make today. Every effort, no matter how small, matters. Every action compounds, creating momentum that carries you beyond limits, beyond doubts, and beyond fear. In the end, it all comes down to this: your life will change when you decide it will change, and it will change because you take the steps necessary to make it happen. You cannot rely on luck, chance, or someone else's help. You must rise. You must act. You must force yourself to do what needs to be done. This is your life. This is your moment. This is your chance to move forward, to grow, and to achieve. Take it. Push yourself. Act. And watch as the life you've been waiting for begins to unfold before you. Your action is your power. Your movement is your strength. And your commitment to yourself is the only thing that will ensure you rise, succeed, and create a life that reflects the effort, courage, and determination you are willing to put in every single day. The time is now. No more waiting. No more excuses. Force yourself into action and save the life only you can create.